Hi, Debbie here with some Christmas ornaments that I've been working on that I wanted to show you. This one here is one, and I used rice paper and resin and clay to make this. So there's this one here, and it's just painted on the back. So there's this one, and then I made this one here with the rice paper and the resin. And this one I added a little stickles inside to give it some sparkle. And then on the back I used a stencil to do that design. And then I used the clay with the molds to do the borders. And this is one here. So this is what I've been working on, but I thought I'd go ahead and make another one. And it's not going to be a tutorial, it's just going to be like a process. So I'm going to set up and you can see how I made these. Okay, well the first thing I'm going to do is take some gesso, and I just got this gesso here that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to paint both sides of this wooden 4-inch ornament. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm just going to take some and use a little foam brush here. And I'm just going to paint. And I'm going to do both sides. And so let me go ahead and paint both sides of these, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, well I have the gesso on both sides. Now what I'm going to do is, I put the gesso on because it's wood. You know how wood is, it just absorbs the first layer of whatever you put on. So I do the gesso. Now the next thing I do is I'm going to paint one side white with the white paint, and then I'm going to paint one side blue. So let me go ahead and I'll paint these, let them dry, and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so I got both sides painted. So that's what I'm going to do now. So the next thing I need to do is, I have some rice paper here, is I am going to cut out this image right here. So this is the one I'm going to put on this ornament. So I'm just going to cut this one out. You know, the papers are curled because they came when they were shipped over. They were in a little. So I'll just basically just cut this out, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I got it all cut out. So I am going to put it on with this decoupage paste. You can use Mod Podge. So I'm going to just put that on. I need to have it facing me so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to finish putting this on, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it dries. Okay, so this is on and dry. So I'm going to flip it over and go to the back. So on the back, what I'm going to do is, I have this little stencil here. I am going to line up my stencil where I want it to be, like so. And then I'm just going to use some of this light modeling paste. And then I'm just going to put this on the back of the ornament. So let me continue doing this, and I'll show you what it looks like. So let's take this off. Probably should have went, here we go. Then I gotta just remove all the little excess around. There we go. And now I just need to set this aside and let that dry. Okay, so here's how it turned out. It's all nice and dry. So what I'm going to do now, is I got this little rub and buff. It's the autumn gold. I'm going to just go over that a little bit. That's my husband in there talking to the cat. Must be begging for food. So I'm just going to go over lightly over all of them. So let me continue doing that, and then I'll show you how it turns out. Okay, so this is how this is turning out. So let me let that set up a little bit, and then I'll buff it, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm just going to take one of these little cotton makeup removers and just it's just going to bring out the shine on these. So let me do that. Okay, well that's setting up. What I need to do is I'm going to be using this to make my border that goes around. I'm going to be using this mold to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work this a little bit, and then I'm just going to set it into the mold. Okay, so this is, and I'm going to do this. I leave it in the mold for maybe 2 minutes or so, and then take it out, and then I'll put another one in. And then I'm going to need at least 4 strips to start, so let me do that. Okay, so let's get this one out. This is the last one. And that just comes right out like that. So I'm going to be gluing those on the edge of this right here. And I'm going to be gluing it on with art glitter glue. So what I'll do is I'll just put some art glitter glue here, take one of these, and then just start gluing it around. So let me do that, and then I'll show you how it turned out. Okay, so I have that going around the whole edge here. So what I want to do now is I'm going to make some more strips, and I want to go one more time around on the inside all the way around. So let me do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I went around it for the second time. So that's what I did here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of the blue paint and just dab it around the trim here on the back. I'm not sure what color I'm going to do here on the front yet, but I'm going to work on the back right now. So let me do that and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I just put some of the rub and buff around the edges. So that's how that looks there. And then I went ahead and did it on the front. So that's what I've done here. So what I'm going to do now is I have some stickles, and I'm going to go in there and put some stickles on some of these areas just to make it sparkle. So let me go ahead and do that. And I also need some white paint where I got some of that rub and buff right here. And I'll just fix that and then add some stickles, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to take stickles, and on the little, where I see the snow or wherever I want to put a little sparkle, I'm just going to go over the whole picture and just do that. Okay, here's what it looks like. You can see the little shine. This is a little sparkle to add to it. I thought I'd do that. So once this sets, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the resin. So that would be the next thing. So I'll show you how I do that as soon as this stickles dries. One more step before I do the resin. I want to go around the outside with the varnish to seal that up. So I'm going to do that. Okay, well the stickles are all dry, so I am going to be doing the resin, and it's just equal parts of the resin and then the hardener. So I'm going to just mix these up. And then I need to mix them for 2 minutes. So I have my timer set, so I'm going to start mixing. And when I'm done, we'll pour, and then I'll come back. Okay, well this one is the one we just did together. Well, the one I showed you. It still needs to set up. It's not totally set up yet. So I'm going to just set that there. But then I just wanted to show you these again. And then this one here. And also, what I want to tell you is the one that we just did here, the one I showed you, I am going to give this one away. So if you would like to receive it, all you need to do in your comments is just put enter me, and I will pick a name, and then I will just send this out. This is going to be US only. Because shipping, even though this is only 4 inches, to ship this, you wouldn't believe how much it would cost just to ship this in a bubble envelope. So US only. Just put enter me, and I will draw a name. I need to give this at least 3 days to set up. So I'll come back in 3 days, and we'll pick a winner for. Well, I'll draw for this ornament right here that I showed you. I put together. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.